35 years ago, this woman claims this man raped her. What makes it a story? The man is now a sitting federal court judge. Terry Mitchell filed a lawsuit today against federal judge Richard Warren Roberts. She says she was just 16 when he repeatedly assaulted her.
Roberts unexpectedly retired today. He was a lawyer in 1981 when Mitchell was the key witness in the murder trial of a serial killer he was prosecuting here in Utah. Fox 13's Robert Boyd picks up the story. Robert.
Well, Bob and Hope, the woman at the center of all this, Terry Mitchell, has come a long way since she was 16 years old. She's gone on to have a family and a very successful real estate business here in Utah. But she's always kept her silence regarding that 1981 murder trial involving the death of her two friends until today, where she broke that silence.
This has been more difficult, I think, than anybody can imagine for Terry Mitchell.
In 1980, Terry Mitchell saw two black friends shot and killed at Liberty Park. Serial killer Joseph Paul Franklin was charged with the murders. During that time, Richard Roberts, who was 27, was the federal prosecutor in the case, while Mitchell, who was 16, was the key witness. According to the Utah Attorney General's report, Mr. Roberts did indeed engage in sexual relations with Ms. Jackson Mitchell on multiple occasions under the guise of witness preparation.
Confused, vulnerable, frightened, and then she's forced into sex. And he tells her, you can't tell anybody, because if you do, there will be a mistrial and Joseph Paul Franklin will walk free. She knows he'll kill again.
So for more than 3 decades, Mitchell said nothing. Then in 2013, Franklin was executed. Roberts began contacting Mitchell, and she recorded a phone conversation between them. Mitchell gave that recording to the Utah Attorney General's office.
Judge Roberts admits that the relationship occurred. He disagrees with Terry on the timing of it, but he does admit that it happened during the federal trial.
Mitchell is seeking $15 million in damages in the civil suit.
She just wants justice. She wants accountability. But she doesn't ever want a perpetrator like this ever to get away with it again.
Now, you're probably wondering why Roberts isn't facing any criminal charges. Well, the Utah Attorney General's office said if those crimes would have happened today, it would be a serious felony. But since it happened back in 1981, the laws were a little bit different, and the most they could charge Roberts with is just a Class B misdemeanor, and they also wouldn't be able to extradite him from Washington, D.C. back to Utah, and that's why he's not facing any criminal charges in this case. Now, keep in mind that it's the House Oversight and Government Reform Committee that oversees federal judges. Chairman Jason Chaffetz issued this statement earlier today. Our initial review of the allegations has caused alarm and distress over their serious nature. We will work with the House and Senate Judiciary Committees to determine next best steps to ensure justice is served. But once again, keep in mind, not sure how much justice will be served, considering Roberts issued his resignation earlier today. Live in Salt Lake City, Robert Boyd, Fox 13 News, Utah.
What a story. Robert, thank you.